Happy Easter. Easter is a time when we both get two different emotions. On Friday, we remember the suffering of our Savior, and on Sunday, we rejoice at his resurrection. It's not true of marriage. It has happy times, and it has times when things are hard. No wonder whoever decides the marriage vows put it that you are committing to each other for better, for worse. That means at the very worst time you'll still be committed. At the very best time you'll still be committed. That's really what Easter reminds us. The commitment of our Savior, so that he was committed to us. So committed that he was willing to die on the cross. I think the thing that I like is to remember that love is a verb. And when love is a verb, it means there is action. It is meaningless to tell somebody you love them when you cannot show any action that shows sacrifice for the sake of the other person you love. Because love is an action means you'll be doing something in order for the person to be in a better position. Christ died for us. Not so that he benefits in any way. He came from his heavenly throne to come for the sake of us. And I think it's a very important thing to understand similarly. Easter reminds us that we must of necessity have to make ourselves go through certain sacrifices for the one we love. May Easter make you remember your commitment of those marriage vows and then get you to where you will walk with the person you committed yourself to for his good. That does not mean you will be forgotten yourself. God has promised when you do good, even if the person does not respond by doing good, he himself will bring blessings into your life. So this is my prayer for you, and the prayer for you by Rebecca and John is that God will make Easter remind you of your commitment of marriage vows. Thank you very much.
It is a good time to remind ourselves that this season, it is not about the church or the system or the festivals that we use. It's not about the tradition, but the reason for which we meet, which is Jesus Christ. His coming, his death, his resurrection, and ascension is what gives us hope. And as we do that, of course, we have come up with traditions. We are believers. There's a way we behave. And I just wanted to mention a few things that has been going through my mind and listening to people. And I want to, somebody mentioned that being preoccupied in ministry can harden someone's heart against God. You can be so busy in ministry preparing sermons, preaching, teaching, until you cannot hear God speaking to you. You can be so busy being a Christian husband or Christian wife that you don't hear God. And hardening the heart is not something that you need to be proud of. This is the time, particularly as we are living at home with our loved ones, with our children, the space we need to ask ourselves, do we really listen to God? Do we hear him? And also in that light, I wanted to mention, you can't give away what you don't have. If you have not received God's mercy, you can't be merciful. In families, in homes, with husband, with children, it is a concept of being merciful to one another. And if you do not know God's mercy, and all you know is the system, then you can't be merciful. Nothing gets you happier than getting your mind off yourself and focusing on another. And that is what Jesus Christ came. He got his mind off himself and got his mind on saving us. That is what we need to focus on. Self-focus induces misery, and we must neglect that. So we need to know, as my husband has mentioned, love is not a feeling but a decision on how we talk about people. Refusal to focus on unworthy, difficult situation. Instead, we need to look for what we are fighting about. Look for things we agree on, which is we need to love one another. What does it mean? It's not a feeling, but an attitude that is based on what we think. It is love of God that enables us to live in ways that benefit others, even when the space in which we live is rather small, and when we are not in our regular things that sometimes define us. It is that mindset of loving Christ and following him that is necessary, that rethinking back and developing traditions based on Christ.